Oh my god, this lens is the one. And I've been using the wrong lens this whole time.
Hey there, how's it going? It's another beautiful day here in Toronto. But why is it still so cold? Hold on, let me get a jacket. Ah, this is much better. Much more comfortable. So I don't understand. It's almost April, but it's still -5 out. That's crazy. But I guess that's Canadian weather in a nutshell. So anyways, this winter I haven't really got a chance to take some pictures out in the snow. It's just a combination of me being busy and not enough snowfall days for our time to match together. Hard times. It's like me and the weather are buddies or something. But anyways, as the time you're watching this, a month ago, mid-March, there was a brief period of time where I'm free and there was snowfall. And it's at midnight. But I feel like if I don't go, I have to wait till next year for some winter wonderland photography again. So I just went full YOLO, screw my sleeping schedule, brought my gear with me, and documented some behind the scenes for you guys to see. So let's not waste any time and let's go. Anyways, so here's how it works. I'm gonna have my GoPro mounted on top of my camera to capture the behind the scenes. I'm gonna narrate and explain the photos as I'm capturing, what I like, what I dislike about the pictures. Kind of just like explaining the whole street photography process in my head. And by the way, I love shooting the snow. It just gives off a completely different vibe. You got the light refracting off the falling snow, you got the people rushing home, you got the texture of the snow on the ground. You'll see it all in my pictures. Here I quickly snapped this picture of this person walking his dog. It's fine, but I feel like the tree on the left hand side is kind of distracting to the subject. Now here I'm just getting a couple warm-up shots in. In the beginning of each session, I always feel like I need to take some time to get into that creative zone. A couple of warm-up shots here and there will always get me familiarized with the environment I'm shooting in. And this first spot is great because there is just enough things happening so it's not too boring. Here I see all those rental bikes covering snow. So I'm like, if I nail down here for a lower angle shot, I think I can get a cool repetitive pattern going on with all the bike frames, etc. I'm happy to say that the execution of this idea was on point. However, there's just no place in the photo where your eyes can rest. If there's like a human subject walking in or a car in the middle of those frames, it will make the picture look a whole lot better. Here is just another photo of center framing. A little bit of Photoshop definitely helped bring out the subject. Now I'm just walking around trying to find interesting subjects, like this A7 right here, this empty street right here. For this shot, I think a longer focal length would definitely help. Even though using a lower aperture like f1.4, I still think the subject is getting lost in the frame. Here again, same story. I think a longer focal length would definitely help with the shot. The reason I was drawn to this shot was because the headlight of the van reflect off the pedestrian, create this cool shadow on the ground. I want to capture it, but again, longer focal length would have helped. As I'm struggling to find the shot of the night, this scene suddenly popped in front of me. I literally had 2 seconds to capture the shot, but I think I did a pretty good job at it. Now let's analyze this photo. It has the depth, the line, the symmetry from the scaffolding. It got those crazy colors reflecting off everywhere. Essentially, it has the center subject, it has the contrast in the shadow and the lights, and I even edited the color to be in contrast of blue and orange. It checks all the boxes that I look for. The downside was that I spent so much time on this photo that the next shot was actually so much better. But that's okay, just copy and paste the Lightroom adjustment to it. Yeah, this was definitely one photo of the night. Now I'm just taking a picture here and there as I am making my way towards the financial district, the infamous King of Bay. So I stopped here for a little bit as Scotiabank Plaza's main entrance caught my attention. I think this makes an awesome lock screen background. So here I saw some reflection of the water and went down for a puddlegram. I honestly didn't expect anything from it, but the result blew my expectations out of the water. After taking the classic back shot of the streetcar, I think 24mm is a bit too wide for me right now, as I'm way too used to the 85mm focal length. Here I took a very symmetric photo, however the TD sign was extremely distracting, but a little of touch-up is just enough. Gosh, I love Photoshop. Anyways, I just want to give a shout out to this legend over here, delivering food in this weather. Props to you, man. And if you see this, I want to gift you this picture. Now this is the classic look-up shot at TD Center. If you ever visit Toronto, this is a really cool spot for photos. There's this look-up shot by the flagpole, and then there's another shot of the CN Tower framed by the two buildings. Oh yeah, and here's me trying to find some shelter, checking the GoPro batteries, and then swapping the lens. New lens, new me, am I right? So this was the another look-up shot I was talking about at the TD Square. You can't really see the CN Tower, but you can imagine on a clear day, the two buildings from the subject. Oh, it's wonderful. On a clearer day, I'll definitely come back and show you guys what an actual picture will look like. Oh my god, here's just me spraying and praying, trying to get the perfect composition that I was looking for, having the silhouette, backed up by the streetcar lights. I totally do not recommend spray and praying because it fills up your buffer, but in this case, I had no way of, getting that perfect shot. Every single time I cross Bay Street, I just love to get that old City Hall clock tower in the middle of the road. I always dreamed of getting that really compressed look with a really long lens like a 7200. Hopefully one day I can get that because 85 here just doesn't do the justice. Now this part of the sidewalk was really sketchy. It was under construction and it was closed, but the smoke was so cool coming out the vents that I had to try a composition with it. Now here it's just a montage of people hustling in the storm as I'm making my way to the final destination of tonight's shoot, which is Dundas Square. So the thought of going to Dundas Square was actually inspired by another Toronto photographer, Lucan Coots. You guys might have seen one of his famous photos. It's called Toronto 2049. So I kind of want to mimic that vibe with today's condition. But before we get there, I sprayed and prayed again. I honestly really like the photo, but at the same time, there's so many distracting elements in the photo. First of all, the car on the right, a couple more human subjects on the left and the right that's distracting to the main subject in the frame. So as I always do, if I cannot achieve it in the camera, I bring it back to Photoshop. And this is the before and after. I just feel like the image is so much more cleaner. Like when your eyes first view the image, it goes directly to the center subject, which is the man running across the street, rather than anything else in the photo. Took a shot of the neon sign here. I love the way it pops in the snowy background, the color contrast and the diffusion of the light. Here I finally arrived at the spot. This is definitely a really cool vantage point, and with the 85mm, it compresses a lot of the background and foreground together. This kind of feels bad to copy someone else's work. Here I turn around to capture some lines with empty streetlights and capture a couple shots of people around the Dundas Square before making my way back to the car. Here, I found this really cool reflection off the window. I wanted to wait for someone to walk into the frame. However, as I looked around and there was no one to be seen, I guess I'll just come back some other day to get the shot. I actually passed by these lights twice. Thought it would be cool for someone to pass under it. And the composition works as well with the lights leading to the primary subject. I actually really like the streetcar shot, but the balance is kind of off. Good thing there's Photoshop. I know I said don't spray and pray, but I thought this sequence was pretty cool. I then quickly turned around and caught this. Queen Street is so nice for photos. As the night is rounding down, I did not know my GoPro ran out of battery. Here are a couple shots I captured off camera. This voiceover actually took me a couple weeks to finish. It's very refreshing to look at those images I took versus the view I'm seeing today. It's really hard to imagine the city was covering 20 centimeters of snow just a month ago.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
And here, oh my, I just love the way the Gooderham building sits in the snow. Alright, so this wraps up my winter night photography adventure for 2022. Let me know your favorite picture that I took here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned a couple things along with me, and I'll see you in the next one.